Six Sigma Green Belt in the age of AI. Still relevant or evolving? A changing landscape. Where Six Sigma meets intelligent machines. Six Sigma has long been associated with structured problem solving, data-driven decisions, and steady process improvement. For years, green belts have worked inside organizations to reduce defects, streamline operations, and improve quality using proven methods like DMAIC: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. But the workplace is changing. Automation is no longer limited to factory floors. Artificial intelligence is now analyzing data, predicting outcomes, and even suggesting solutions. Data science is turning raw information into insights faster than ever before. This raises a natural question. Where does that leave the Six Sigma Green Belt? The answer is not that the role is disappearing. It is evolving. Instead of being replaced, the Green Belt is being reshaped into something more powerful, someone who understands both process improvement and the technology that now drives it. Understanding the traditional role, what green belts have always done. To understand how things are changing, it helps to first look at what a green belt traditionally does. A Six Sigma green belt is trained to identify problems in a process, collect data, analyze that data, and implement improvements. The work often involves creating charts, running basic statistical tests, and working with teams to reduce waste and variation. In many organizations, this meant spending a lot of time gathering data manually, cleaning it, and trying to make sense of it using spreadsheets or basic tools. Decisions were often limited by how much data could realistically be handled and how quickly it could be analyzed. The strength of Six Sigma has always been its structured thinking. That foundation has not changed. What has changed is how quickly and deeply that thinking can now be applied. The rise of AI and automation. A new set of tools. Artificial intelligence and automation are transforming how work gets done. Tasks that once took hours or days can now be completed in seconds. Large data sets that once felt overwhelming can now be explored with ease. For a green belt, this means less time spent on repetitive work and more time focused on understanding problems and making decisions. AI can clean data, identify patterns, and even highlight potential root causes. Automation can handle routine process steps, reducing the need for manual intervention. Instead of replacing Six Sigma methods, these technologies enhance them. DMAIC still applies, but each phase becomes faster and more precise. In the measure phase, data collection can happen automatically through connected systems. In the analyze phase, AI can uncover relationships that might otherwise be missed. The result is not a different methodology, but a more capable one. Data science enters the picture, from basic charts to predictive insight. Traditional Six Sigma relies heavily on descriptive analysis. It answers questions like what happened and why it happened. Data science expands this by answering what is likely to happen next. This shift introduces predictive and even prescriptive thinking into process improvement. Instead of reacting to defects after they occur, organizations can anticipate problems before they happen. For example, a manufacturing process might use machine learning to predict when equipment is likely to fail. A service organization might use data models to identify which customer interactions are most likely to lead to complaints. The green belt does not need to become a full data scientist. However, understanding how to work alongside these tools is becoming essential. The role is shifting from performing every analysis manually to guiding and interpreting more advanced analyses. The human element, why green belts still matter. With all this technology, it might seem like the need for human problem solvers would decrease. In reality, the opposite is true. AI can process data, but it does not understand context the way people do. It cannot fully grasp organizational culture, team dynamics, or the practical challenges of implementing change. A green belt brings structure, communication, and leadership to improvement efforts. The role involves asking the right questions, aligning stakeholders, and ensuring that solutions actually work in the real world. Technology can suggest what might improve a process, but it still takes human judgment to decide what should be done and how to do it effectively. This is where the green belt becomes even more valuable, not just as an analyst, but as a translator between data, technology, and people. Evolving skill sets. What today's green belt needs to learn. The core principles of Six Sigma remain the same, but the skill set is expanding. A modern green belt benefits from being comfortable with data tools beyond spreadsheets. Familiarity with dashboards, basic coding concepts, or data visualization platforms can make a significant difference. Understanding how AI tools generate insights is also important. This does not mean building complex algorithms, but rather knowing how to question results, check assumptions, and avoid blind trust in automated outputs. Equally important are soft skills. As processes become more automated, the challenge often shifts to managing change. Helping teams adopt new systems, trust new tools, and adjust to new ways of working becomes a key part of the role. The green belt of today is part problem solver, part communicator, and part technology navigator. Real-world impact, how roles are already changing. Across industries, the shift is already happening. In manufacturing, sensors and real-time data allow green belts to monitor processes continuously instead of relying on periodic checks. In healthcare, AI tools help analyze patient data to improve outcomes and reduce delays. In service industries, automation streamlines workflows while analytics identify bottlenecks. In each case, the green belt is not removed from the process. Instead, the role becomes more strategic. Less time is spent gathering information, and more time is spent interpreting it and driving meaningful improvements. Organizations are beginning to value professionals who can bridge the gap between traditional process improvement and modern technology. Still relevant or fully evolved? The answer. Moving forward, Six Sigma. Green Belt certification is still relevant, but it is no longer static. It is evolving alongside the tools and technologies shaping today's workplace. The structured thinking, problem-solving approach, and focus on quality remain just as important as ever. What is changing is how those skills are applied. Rather than competing with AI, green belts who embrace it can become more effective and more valuable. The role is shifting from doing the work manually to guiding smarter, faster, and more informed decisions. For working adults considering this path, the takeaway is simple. Learning Six Sigma is still worthwhile. Pairing it with an openness to technology is what turns it into a future-ready skill set. The green belt is not becoming obsolete. It is becoming something more adaptable, more strategic, and more aligned with the way modern organizations operate. Final thoughts. A practical path forward. For someone new to Six Sigma, the combination of structured methods and modern tools might seem overwhelming at first. It does not need to be. Start with the basics. Understand how processes work, how problems are defined, and how data supports decisions. Then gradually explore how technology can make those steps easier and more powerful. The goal is not to master everything at once, but to build confidence in both the method and the tools that support it. In a world shaped by automation and AI, the ability to think clearly, solve problems, and improve processes remains essential. Six Sigma green belts who adapt to this new environment are not just keeping up. They are helping lead the way forward,